Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. My name is Sir Cowdog, and this is the Forest of Fallen Giants, Part 3. This should wrap up the remainder of the zone. Both boss fights are going to be in this video at the end. And here we go. So, with the shortcut open, what I'm going to do is run right out here, run back into the bonfire room so I can fight this guy one at a time. He may get off a spear hit on you, that's okay. Spear soldiers are a little bit annoying that way. Sprint over here and get this guy before he can swing. And then down the ladder. Right off of the ledge here is another item. Green blossoms, which increase stamina regeneration temporarily. And we have a room full of crossbows, which as soon as you cross the line of the broken wall, will start to shoot at you. You can use a steer advantage by running right back outside. Oh, sometimes that guy will get hit, sometimes not. Well, I'm screwing my timing up left and right here. I'm going to retreat up the ladder. That was a really close call. Fortunately, I have some of these bombs left. And I'm actually going to plunge attack these guys. So, with all of these hollow soldiers, the best way to fight them is usually one at a time, and you want to actually do what I failed to do there, and that is to start your swing so that they run into it, not wait until they're close. The timing in Dark Souls 2 of attacks and defense is a little bit weird, but general rule of thumb is you want to start your swing so that the enemy runs into it. Okay. Now I'm going to make use of these crossbows. And if you can see those barrels off in the distance, a couple of shots, one of these should hit. There we go. That will clear out the two soldiers blocking the way in that room. This door is locked. There is no key for it. What you have to do is click on it so that it says does not open, and then you have to hit it, and that gets the attention of the guys inside who will open the door for you, leaving you free to kill them and take the loot inside. Inside the chest is a life ring, raises your maximum total life, and a large titanite shard, which I can use to upgrade the battle axe one more time. And if you remember that Pharaoh's Lockstone I bought earlier, goes right here, which opens this secret door. Giving me access to a titanite slab and the Chloranthy Ring, which is going to increase my passive stamina regeneration. Go ahead and equip that right away. And last is a chest here, and this is a good example of some of the things you can encounter. Like a traditional RPG, some chests are trapped. Trapped chests are a little bit random. Sometimes they'll shoot the crossbow bolts like you just saw. Other times they'll spew a poison cloud. And in very, very extremely rare cases, sometimes the chest will explode. To give you an idea of how rare that is, I've only seen it happen once in about 300 hours of gameplay. So pretty rare. It may even be a bug. I'm not entirely sure because I've only seen it once. Anyway, here we have Paige, the wandering soldier.
Traveling all alone in these treacherous times.
Exhaust his dialogue. Paige is a stand-in for Patches the Unbreakable. And what Paige generally does is he will tell you about treasure in a nearby area, but the treasure is always trapped or somehow guarded. I'll leave it up to you to decide whether or not that is him trying to get you in trouble or him being friendly. But to defeat the guards in the next room, equip the witching urns. I have 5 of them. They're basically magic grenades. The door will close behind me. There we go. And a bunch of guys will come out of this doorway, which you can then just throw bombs at. Until there's only one left. And you can throw a bomb at him or just chop him down. Alright. The loot, however, is not very impressive. Some ooze. And right here is actually the real treasure behind the secret door. Now in Dark Souls 2, there are 2 types of hidden doors. There are the type where you just hit them with your weapon and the wall breaks. And there are the type like this one where you will use your interact button. On the Xbox controller, I believe it's, I want to say square. On the Switch Pro controller, it's B, and on mouse and keyboard, it's whatever you bind it to. But if you're not sure, just button mash, and eventually it should open. Alright. See if I can avoid some fall damage by landing on that tiny little ledge there. Nope. Oh, nice. Alright, talk to Paige again. He'll say, oh, good, you escaped. And then he will give you the white soapstone item, which allows you to put your summon sign down. It's only useful in multiplayer. If you want to play online and open yourself to potential hackers and all sorts of other shenanigans, then online play is where you will find that. But that conversation also progresses Paige's NPC quest. The next step of which will be to summon him for the boss fight, which I will get to in just a little bit. A couple more areas to clear first. Up the ladder. Let me grab this crossbow and equip it straight away. Equip the bolts we picked up earlier. And it's going to tell you the same message. Oh, you don't have the stats to equip this. That's just because you have to two-hand it. That's literally all it is. So, shoot this guy in his shoulder. Should take 2 shots each. Headshots do more damage, but not quite enough to kill him in 1 shot. Alright. And then, down at the end of this hallway, you can see the lit brazier, and there's a shadow of a dude sort of sitting down. What that indicates is that there's an invisible guy there. And these guys are scattered all throughout the game. Usually there's not a convenient torch to reveal them. So either check a guide, a spoiler guide online to find out where all of them are, or carry around a torch a lot, I guess. I'll leave it up to you to determine which of those to do. Now I know where quite a few of them are, but I don't know by memory where all of them are. So if you do want to get every single one of those guys, then definitely reference a guide. That guy I just killed, by the way, is one of the very, very few locations that plunge attack actually works. Jump out the window and move on to the next area. more spear guys. 1, 2, 3. They always stab 3 in a row. And somehow I screwed that up. Just having a really bad time with my range, seems like. Fortunately, due to the upgraded battle axe, it doesn't take very many hits to kill these guys. Now, this is a good example. You see how he's got his shield raised. That means he'll not do very much damage when you hit him. The way you break shield defense from NPCs is you tap forward on the joystick plus light attack at the exact same time, and you'll do a special type of attack, like so. Oop. Like that. Staggers them, allowing you to get some more hits in. Sometimes it's easier just to spam light attacks to break through their shield, but I'll leave it up to you to practice which one of those you want to use. That 4-hit combo that he just did, by the way, is the entire reason why you hit once and then roll backwards. Alright. Up the broken sword here. There's some loot, but you want to rotate your camera because right up there are a bunch of guys waiting to drop down and ambush you. Trigger them and then immediately retreat to a spot where you can fight without having to worry about falling into the ocean. Let them come to you. This guy got stuck apparently. Be very, very careful if that happens. It's very easy to fall off the edge when you swing because you move forward a little bit. Alright, there are 4 of them, all of them dead. I'm free to grab the loot, which is a halberd and some souls. And back down the ramp to the fog wall. Take out this sleeping guy, which lets us loot the large leather shield. And this is actually a pretty good shield, and as soon as I have enough strength to one-hand my battle axe, I'm going to be using that. I think I'll level that up right before I fight the boss for you guys so that you can see how good it is. Alright, open the shortcut. Down the elevator. Topping off my health. This door is locked. You cannot find a key for it until a little bit later in the game, a couple of major zones later, so don't worry about it for now. I'm going to go ahead and summon Pate. Now, to advance Pate's NPC quest, he does need to help you with the boss here, and he does need to survive the fight. So, if he gets killed, then just use a homeward bone to escape, and then reset and do it again. Alright, I like to stay locked onto his left foot here. I'm sorry, his right foot. Usually I want to swing twice, leave myself enough stamina to roll away if I need to, like that. Get a couple hits in. Oh, somehow screwed my timing up there. At about 50% health, the boss will go into his phase 2 and pull his arm off to use as a weapon. And get stomped on again. Just like that. Now killing this boss gives you the soldier's key and the soul of the last giant. The soldier's key will open quite a few locked doors in the Forest of Fallen Giants. And now that I have the 10,000 or so souls that you get from defeating the boss, I'm going to head back to the bonfire and militia the old lady merchant, and I'm going to buy that fragrant branch of yore. Take this guy out. So I don't quite have 12,000 I need, so I'm just going to burn a couple of these. Now when you're doing this, be very, very careful not to accidentally use the soul of the last giant. You're going to need that for a little bit later on. Alright, buy fragrant branch of yore for 12,000. Seems expensive at this point, but when you talk to her after buying it, she gives you the covetous silver serpent ring +1, which I believe, and don't quote me on this, is an extra 20% souls on every kill, which will more than make up for itself over time. Alright, the rest of the bonfire. Now that the giant is dead, the old lady disappears. She's actually simply gone back to Majula. I'm going to go back down the ladder. You'll notice that guy has gotten up now. That's why you always kill him first. This guy. So, this door, if you tried to open it earlier, was locked, but now with the soldier's key, I get access. And inside this chest is the Ring of Restoration, which will slowly regenerate your hit points. Personally, I prefer to have the maximum hit points from the life ring, but theoretically, the Ring of Restoration will get you more hit points over time than the Ring of Life. So I'll leave it up to you to decide which one you want to use. Both are good in their own respects. Amber Herb. And this guy you can completely leave alone. You do not have to kill him. I'm just going to show you how to do it early on. Let him attack and literally just walk behind him. These guys are not very smart or difficult. The only danger they really has is if you stand directly in front of them and just get hit. Bait his attack. 1, 2, and just one behind him. It's pretty dumb. There we go. Oh, and he dropped an item. Green Blossom. Okay, the next spot that opens up, now that I have the soldier key, is right here. Now this area is generally pretty dark. If you can't see, either equip a torch from the bonfire, or just turn the gamma up or the brightness up on your TV. Either one works, you should be able to see just fine. Got a bunch of skeletons down here. Should die in one strong attack. Oh, 2 maybe. These guys aren't quite as dangerous as the skeleton back in town, but they still do hit decently hard, so just be careful. That guy dropped his skull. Okay. Open this door, and there is an archer on the left, right there. I recommend ignoring him for now and just sprinting through the doorway here. climb up the ladder. Now, unfortunately, there are... I don't know if we can see it very well from here. There's one Turtle Knight right there behind me. There's one guy right there on the other side of the boxes. There we go. And there's a third one off in the distance. So, fighting 3 of these guys at once is usually pretty hard. I think should be able to use these fire bombs to hit those barrels right there. Nope, the big guy was standing in the way. That's okay. We can use like we normally do and trick these guys into hitting the barrels. Somehow the explosion hit me. That was weird. But as you can see, I'm fighting all 3 at once. Generally not a good situation, but hopefully they blow themselves up. Perfect. Now if you get into trouble and they break the barrels or you have to dodge roll through them, your best bet at this point is to retreat, to drop back down the hole. The 3 Turtle Knights will then run off the roof over here, and then you're going to have to play a dance with them where you run back and forth. It may be easier to just go back to the bonfire and reset and try again. It is definitely trial and error. I've died here a number of times. Do not be ashamed at all to run away from these guys. 3 of anything at the same time is a real pain. So, okay, this guy, basically I'm just going to get back to the crossbow. Oops. Get a little bit close to the wall so I can actually shoot him. There we go. Around the corner is a couple of guys. Human effigy. There's a guy just to the left behind the door. Get him first. And then fight this guy the same way. We always fight him. Hit once, roll away. So, you may be thinking at this point that the entire area is clear, but there is one final sub-boss. That is the NPC invader, Armorer Dennis. And he's kind of an unfair fight for this low level. Armorer Dennis has lots of hit points and shoots pretty high level sorceries. He will invade as soon as you get in front of this chest. So he comes from down there. There he is. I recommend you wait right here at the top of the stairs. And as soon as he reaches the top of the stairs, he points. You notice the railing there will block his spells. As soon as he gets to the top of the stairs, then you can attack him. I recommend using these stairs as kind of a partial barrier. What you ideally want to do is this. He keeps dodge rolling. Ideally you want to knock him off of the edge, but it's not a very good example because he keeps rolling a lot. It's one of the things NPCs like to do is roll spam. Unfortunately, if that doesn't work, there's no real cheese against Armorer Dennis. You're just going to have to play the game with these stairs until you get good range on him. If you get in trouble, roll off the stairs and hide underneath and use your Estus. Let him come to you. And then, once you've got Armor Dennis out of the way, come in here to the bonfire, talk to the hand, and the last thing we have to do is to fight the Pursuer boss. So, I'm going to really quickly head back to town to grab some levels. And this entire area that I just did, by the way, is completely optional. You can notice that I didn't even get that many souls out of it, so if it is too difficult, feel free to skip it, come back later. In fact, that's probably the way you should do it. Alright, level up. Grab a little bit more strength here. Can I get up to 615? No. I think I'm going to have to use some of these soul items. Alright. Strength 15. I'm actually going to put some points into adaptability. Ideally, I want at least 15 adaptability this low level, but I don't quite have the souls for it yet. And of course, if at any point you feel like you need more levels because you're not strong enough, you can very easily farm any of the areas I've already cleared. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and equip this shield. Should help quite a bit fighting the boss. So, when you're one-handing any of the small axes like this, they've got a pretty good side-to-side attack here, but the main strength is the strong attack. This is downward chop. It has deceptively long range. You're going to use that to your advantage many, many times. It also does a lot of damage. So, okay. So the Pursuer is usually a spot that many newer players will get stuck on. It's very easy to understand why. He is kind of a pain in the butt, does a lot of damage, but after you practice a little bit, he becomes fairly predictable. Generally speaking, the Pursuer does one of 3 attacks. He will either raise his shield and rush at you, which is the primary attack you want to see. He does a 3-hit combo where he starts with his sword. He'll raise it to the right side of him. And the third attack is a kind of a stabbing, he'll stab 3 times and then spin and do a power attack. Most of the time you're going to stay away from him and bait. Where did that guy come from? Bait the shield rush. And you don't even need to dodge roll it. Oops. I used the shield I equipped. Whenever he raises his shield, all you want to do is just move to the right. You don't need to dodge roll, he'll miss you completely. And it'll make more sense when you see it in action in just a second here. Any of his other attacks, you mostly just want to dodge roll away or avoid. The most dangerous one is if his sword turns blue, he's going to try to stab you. You usually want to not make the mistake of trying to roll away because it will catch you with phantom range. You actually want to roll to the right. Maybe he'll do it in this one, maybe not. Now, if you're having trouble with him, don't worry, just keep practicing, you'll get it eventually. And you do need that practice because you will be fighting the Pursuer quite a lot in the following zones. He is named very well. He keeps showing up. You have to fight him like 4 or 5 times. So, best to get good at him now. Alright. Keep your shield up. That's the shield bash. I screwed up the dodge there. 1... See how he just completely missed me? Just like that again. That's also your opportunity to heal, by the way. 1, 2, 3. You probably have to dodge the third attack. So 1, 2, 3. Get in 1, 2 hits. Back up. That's the one you gotta watch out for. Now if you have summoned help, you can have one guy distract the pursuer while the other person uses the crossbow. Just be careful because the crossbow can hurt you as well as the boss. That's the blue sword. You want to go to his shield side when he does that. Hopefully you can see the overall strategy here. Stay away from him when he does any other attack besides the shield bash, and just wait for your opportunity. Oops. If you get hit by one attack, don't panic. Just take the damage and then roll past the next one. Alternatively, if you are good at parrying, most of the pursuer's attacks can be parried. Not all of them, like that one. He is just refusing to use his shield bash, isn't he? There we go. That was very dangerous what I just did. I'm actually a little surprised I didn't get caught by that stab. Anyway, like I said, just be patient, be careful. Takes a little bit of practice to get used to all of his attacks, but as you saw, I just waited until I had a chance to dodge his shield rush, and then took advantage and got some damage in. Okay, that nest is the end of the level, but before I go there, I'm actually going to drop down here and grab this loot. The Dranglick set, and the sword and the shield. The Dranglick set is kind of heavy, but has very, very good armor values, as you can see. More than double what I was already using. But, I gotta watch my equip load. Not quite enough to use the legs, so I'm going to use the leather legs instead. And I'm actually going to also use the leather chest piece. The Dranglick chest piece is ridiculously good. As you can see, it's like 4 times as good as the starting armor. Really, really heavy though, so it's going to be a little while before I have enough stats to use that. But in the meantime, this is kind of my standard gear set. Looks kind of cool. Has that kind of newbie warrior look to it. But that is the end of Forest of Fallen Giants. Just gotta get past these guys so I can get to the actual exit of the level. And you can see how blocking with the shield mostly disarms these spear guys. Probably should have been using a shield a lot sooner. Okay. Once again, mostly it's just practice and repetition, getting used to the controls. But I would also hope that watching this video helps anybody who happens to be struggling with the Pursuer. It's not a perfect tutorial. There are a number of other videos out there that can show you guys how to fight him. I recommend watching 2 or 3 different videos to get different takes on how to fight him. But on to the next area. A little bit of a cutscene, which I will not spoil. In this area, the Lost Bastille. Grab the loot here, human effigy, and the dull ember. Now the Lost Bastille is a zone I'm going to leave for later. I'm actually going to go ahead and retreat through the bonfire back to Majula. And the next video is going to be Hyde's Tower of Flame, which will be on the way to unlock the other side of the Lost Bastille. Where I'm at right now is only one of 2 entrances to the level, and you do need to unlock both to get 100% of the level, so I'm going to do that first. But, as usual, that's going to be the end of the video, guys. Quite a few souls left to level up with, and I'll do that in the next one, but until then, peace.